Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village, there lived an old lady. She was very old, with vast silver hair, and a face full of wrinkles. Yet her eyes sparkled, filled with kindness, and vast wisdom. Everyone in the village loved her. She was always smiling, even when now life was hard. She lived alone in a little house near a giant banyan tree. Her husband had passed away many years ago, and she had no children to care for her. But she never did complain. Every morning, she would sit beneath the banyan tree, smiling at every passerby. People loved to see she talk to her. Her words were like a warm blanket on a cold winter night. The villagers worked hard. Some were farmers, tilling the sun-drenched fields. Some were carpenters, shaping their wooden furniture. Others ran small market stalls, selling fruits, vegetables, and colorful clothes. But life wasn't easy. Sometimes the trains didn't come, and the crops dried up. Other times an illness kept them from work. Worry and sadness often visited their homes, but the old lady's smile never faded. One day, a young woman named Priya came to visit her. Tears streamed down Priya's face. Her voice trembled as she spoke. "I don't know what to do, Grandma. My husband went to the one city to find work, but he hasn't sent any money. My children are hungry, and I'm scared. What if something bad has happened?" The old lady looked at her with gentle, understanding eyes. She smiled softly and patted the ground beside her. "Sit down, my child. Tell me, what do you think will happen?" Priya wiped her tears with the edge of her sari eating. "I don't know, Grandma. Everything feels like it's falling apart. What if he can't find work? What if he forgets us? What if we have now nothing to eat?" The old lady listened patiently, then shook her head slowly. "When we fill our minds with our bad thoughts, our hearts grow heavy, and everything feels worse. But when we think good thoughts, our hearts feel actually lighter, and sometimes good things begin to happen." Priya looked doubtful. "But how can I think good thoughts when everything around me is so bad?" The old lady smiled again. "Let me tell you a story," she began. "Once there was a poor man. He had nothing, no food, no money, no family. He sat by a river, crying bitterly. An old woman saw him and asked, "Why are you crying, my son?" He replied, "I have nothing. How can I ever be happy?" The old woman smiled and said, "You have the river, which flows endlessly. You have the trees, which give you the shade and gain fruit. You have the sun, which warms you each day. Well, look around you. There is beauty and life everywhere. And if you only think about what you don't have, you will always feel empty. But if you think about what you do have, you will find one peace." The man listened closely. He stopped crying. He began to notice the river, the tall trees, and the bright sun. Slowly, he began to feel better. From that day forward, he worked hard, and his life started to change. Say. The old lady looked at Priya again. "You see, my dear, the man's life didn't change because of magic. It changed because he changed the way he thought. When we think positively, we find the key strength to face our problems. But when we focus only on what's wrong, then we feel weak and hopeless. Priya asked softly, "Will my thinking really make a difference?" The old lady nodded. "Yes, my child. If you wake up each morning and say, 'Today will be a good day,' you will find the Sundays in strength to care for your children and to face whatever comes. Oh, but if you keep thinking about what might go wrong, you will feel sad and unable to adapt." Priya wiped her tears. She nodded slowly. "I understand, Grandma. I will try to think good thoughts from now on." The old lady smiled warmly. "That is the first step, my dear." From that day, Priya followed the old lady's calm advice. Every morning, she told herself, "Today will be a good day." She worked hard, cared for her children, and waited for her husband with done hope in her heart. A few weeks later, a letter arrived. Her husband had found an armed job in the city and was sending money back home. Priya's eyes filled with tears of joy. She ran to the old lady's house to share the news. The old lady smiled and said, "You see, my dear, when we think positively, we invite very good things into our lives. Problems will always come, but if we face them with a hopeful heart, we can overcome them." Soon, the old lady's wisdom spread throughout the village. People came to her to share their troubles. She always gave the same advice: think good thoughts, and good things will follow. The villagers began to see the positive truth in her words. Their lives slowly became brighter. They loved and respected her even more for the hope and happiness she brought into their world. Our thoughts have incredible power over our lives. When we focus on the good, we find strength, hope, and surmount solutions to our problems. Life is not always easy, but with a positive attitude, we can face challenges and invite happiness into our hearts. Always remember, a very hopeful heart is a strong heart. No matter how dark things may seem, a grateful, hopeful soul can create a light. By choosing to think good thoughts, we open ourselves to new possibilities, find peace within, and inspire others to do the same.
ThriveX, where growth begins. Don't miss out. Hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon to stay inspired. Together, we'll unlock your full potential.